energy for a Tuesday that feels like a Monday. Awesome. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Nice to have 3 days off, and then a short day or short week this week, so we're really happy about that. And I have to tell you before we start with this was one of the best starts to the school year I've ever seen. The students coming in, getting settled in their classes, learning the routines, understanding what they need to do, and following the direction of the teacher is always an important thing. So congratulations on the start of a great year. That's what makes Hayden Middle School so great. All of you. So we have a very special treat for you this morning, and before we even start, I'd like you to give a round of applause to the PTO ladies that are here today. Like I told you in our meetings, our student meetings, when we had our kickoff discussions, my number one job in school is not to make sure you learn. That's number two, and it's very close to number one. The number one job is to make sure that you're safe. And that means safe from harm that we can see, like tripping and falling down the steps, or safe from things that we can't see, like how we treat each other if somebody's mistreating you. And today we have a really, really awesome presenter that we've had here in the past that the students have just loved and have remembered forever. And I encourage you to look him up, follow him on Twitter, and get his information, because this guy that I'm about to introduce has done a lot of great things for thousands and thousands and thousands of kids. And we're lucky to have him here today because he's awesome. And he's like a hero in my mind to kids, because he's not going to sit here and tell you all the things that, you know, adults can do for you. He's going to tell you how you can take care of yourself as well. And that's important to us. So let me give a little introduction first. Not only, and I have it on paper here because he's done so many great things, I want to make sure I touch on some of the great ones. First of all, his book, I Am Unafraid, is available at Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, and Amazon.com. It's a great book. He has been presenting for 39 years and has been in 45 states. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. He has been on the Hallmark Channel. He has appeared on Nickelodeon, and he's even written with Disney Productions. So we're for that. One of my all-time favorite presenters. He comes to us today from Nashville, Tennessee. I want to introduce to you Dr. Jay Banks.
You want to have some fun? Teachers, attitude reflects leadership, and I can tell you're doing your job. Because typically, when I ask a room full of middle schoolers if they want to have a good time, they say, "Yeah!" Now, and you know you're not supposed to do that because this is not a cafeteria right now. Actually, this is a classroom. Do you know why I know it's a classroom right now? Because your teachers are here. Look at them, looking all tired. An extra day off and you totally destroyed yourself. That's okay, coffee. See, if this was supposed to be just fun, your teachers would go drink coffee or take a nap. And both sound really good right now, okay? But they're here because they know this is going to be learning. So this is like a classroom. Now, why am I telling you that? Because of this. If you were in your classroom and your teacher said, "You want to have a good time?" you would not say, "Yeah!" Because your teacher would look at you and say, "Get out of my classroom. What's wrong with you, boy?" No, if you were in your classroom and your teacher said, "You want to have a good time?" you would say, "Yeah." And your teacher would say, "Are you sure?" and you would say, "Oh, yeah." And then your teacher would say, "What do you want to do?" And of course, teachers, we know they're going to say, "I don't know." Now, some of you sophisticated technology-savvy guys or girls are saying, "He's got some kind of voice box that makes him talk that way." Oh, no, baby, it's the way I talk. That's the latest edition. All right, teachers, I'm never going to tell you what I think. think in this program, I'm not going to tell you how I feel, because it's an election year. Nobody cares what I think, and apparently I don't care what a lot of people think either, okay, and what I hear. But I will say, according to research, and really that's important, that's a very important phrase in education, students, because it means we know what we're about to say is true. It's been tried. So you're going to hear me say according to research, and I'm going to start with that. According to research, 80 to 90% of you are going to be bullied during your school years.
Oh no.
And 30% of you are being bullied on a weekly basis.
I don't even know what that means.
That means bullying is a problem. But according to research, the best way to reduce bullying is to empower you, to give power to the victims and bystanders. Most of you are victims. All of you are bystanders, but after today, you will have the power. And I'm going to give you the power by means of an acronym.
After what?
Don't worry about it. An acronym is a word that has letters, and the letters mean so much more than the words.
What?
In a minute, you're going to learn something that starts with an A, and it will give you power. Something that starts with an F, and it will give you power. Something that starts with an R, and another A. And when we're through, your new ID, or your new identification will be
AM UNAFRAID.
And if you learn these 4 things and do these 4 things, you will have I'm utilizing the technology, Mr. Lee. I'm utilizing it. Now, you might not be able to do that. That's a little weird, right? But you will have the power. The question is, are you ready for the power? Because it's just a waste of time if I just give you so much and you're like,
Oh, sorry about that.
so it's very important that you're ready for this. Now, before we start, we need to have a shared definition of what bullying is. Teachers, I've read every book, study, all the research. I got a pretty good idea what a good definition for bullying is. But I got to tell you, the best definition for bullying I think I've ever heard came from a kindergartner.
Yeah.
I was in Burbank, California about 8 years ago. At the end of this program, it was so precious. I wish I had my camera, my phone camera. I'm always going to have a camera with me. And this little girl came walking up. She had a little white dress on. And she had little, and it must have been brand new white shoes because she was looking at her shoes but not paying attention where she was going. She was like, oh. I need to rethink that part of the program right there. That's caused some damage. And she had a little white bow in her hair, and she came up to me and said,
I know what bullying is.
and I said, what's bullying? And she said,
Bullying is when somebody tries to be the boss of you.
I gotta tell you, teachers, remove all the fancy vernacular. That's really what it's about. If somebody tries to be the boss of you physically, socially, or emotionally, and you ask them to stop. Now, by the way, just because somebody does it doesn't mean they're bullying. It's when they won't stop. And you say, stop. And they keep on doing it. You say, stop. And they keep on doing it. We've probably crossed over into inappropriate behavior, maybe even bullying. But after today, no matter what it is, you will have the power. Are you ready for the power now? All right. First is the A. Teachers, according to research, 75% of the problem will go away if they will A. Well, of course, I'm going to start with the one that's most impressive, the one that has the biggest power with the punch. If you're going to be unafraid of bullies and bullying situations, you first have to learn the A, and the A is... Teachers, I know you're saying to yourself, avoid bullies, huh? Is this new research? I should write this down so I don't forget it. Because